I'm sorry, Lena. There's no heartbeat. I stared at the monitor, my hands trembling on my belly. No, that can't be. I felt her move yesterday. I felt her. Dr. Ramos kept his voice steady. It wasn't your fault. Sometimes. These things? No. I shook my head. No. She was fine. We were fine. Ethan sat in the chair beside me like a statue. Not a single word, not a tear. Just silence. I turned to him. Say something, please. He looked at me like he didn't recognize me. Let's just go home. Home? What even was home now? He barely spoke the entire ride. I stared out the window, rain trailing down like everything inside me was leaking out. As soon as we stepped inside, I dropped to the floor. I don't want to be here. Everything in this house reminds me of her. Ethan walked past me cold and detached. I need to shower. I stayed curled up on the cold tile, my body aching in places grief had just discovered. Later that night, I found him packing a suitcase. I blinked. What? What are you doing? He didn't stop folding. His shirt. I need space, Lena. This is too much. Do you need space? My voice cracked. We just lost our baby, Ethan. Our baby. He looked away. You've changed? Of course I've changed. I'm grieving. You're not the woman I married. My heart stopped. What? You cry all the time? You blame me? Bitter, angry, I lost our daughter. He zipped the suitcase. Can't fix this. And I can't keep pretending you promised. I grabbed his wrist. You said in sickness and in health. You said, I didn't sign up for this version of you. His eyes were ice. I'm sorry. You're leaving me now. Mom said I should have seen the signs. I should have. Of course, Helen. I laughed bitterly. She never wanted you to marry me. She said I was beneath you. This isn't about her, isn't it? I snapped. She poisoned you. She made you believe this was my fault. He yanked his arm. Away. I need peace. I dropped to my knees. Please, Ethan, I'm begging you. Don't do this. I can't survive this alone. I already booked a flight. I'll send someone for the rest of my things. I stared at him, shaking. You're really going? I'm sorry. No, you're not, I whispered. He hesitated for a second. Then he turned, opened the door, and walked out without looking back. I sat there, knees against my chest, arms wrapped around my stomach. I'm still a mother, I whispered to the empty room. Even if no one sees her, I still am. Day passed. Then, too, I lay on the couch, staring at the ceiling, replaying his words. You're not the woman I fell in love with anymore. Was grief so ugly it made people walk away? Was love that shallow? My phone buzzed. It was a message from Helen. I told Ethan this marriage was a mistake. Maybe now he'll listen. I dropped the phone and covered my face. I thought back to our wedding day, her fake smile, the way she whispered in his ear just before we said I do. I never stood a chance, did I? A knock at the door broke my silence. Was Dr. Ramos. I just wanted to check on you, he said gently. I opened the door halfway. I'm fine. You're not. I let him in. Why would he leave? Dr. Ramos sighed. People grieve differently. Some run. He didn't even fight for her. For me, he should have. You deserve more. I looked at him. Do I? Yes, Lena, you do. He left a card for a support group. I never called. Days blurred. Nights were louder than days. Ethan never returned. I sat at the kitchen table where we once planned baby names. Tore up the list. Amelia, Hope, Aria, gone. I opened the fridge. The milk had expired. The smell hit me and I dropped the bottle glass, shattering everywhere. I slid to the floor and screamed into my arms. I screamed until I couldn't breathe, until silence was the only sound left. Then Ava came. She found me curled up in a blanket. Lena, I didn't move. He left you. I nodded slowly. She knelt beside me and held me tight. Then we're going to pick up the pieces. Together, I don't know how. You don't have to know. You just have to move. I'm so tired. Ava, I know, she whispered, but you're still here. And that means there's still a fight in you. I broke all over again in her arms, but for the first time. I didn't break alone, Lena. Open the door. I know you're in there. I stared at the wall, my blanket pulled over my head like armor. The knock came again. Louder this time. I swear, if you don't open up, I'm breaking this damn door down. I dragged myself up and cracked it open. Ava's eyes scanned me. You look like a ghost. Nice to see you too. She pushed past me. You haven't showered. Nope, eaten. I didn't answer. She walked to the kitchen, opened the fridge, and sighed. Lena, this is empty. You're literally starving yourself. I'm not hungry. It's not the point, she snapped, turning to me. You think lying here wasting away will bring her back? My chest tightened. Don't. She's gone, Lena. I know it hurts, but you're still alive, so act like it. I flinched. You think I don't know that? I think you forgot it. I turned away from her, for everything reminds me of her. The nursery, the smell of her lotion. The sound of silence. Ava's voice softened. Then let's go. Leave this place and go where? Anywhere. But here? The next day, she dragged me out. I hadn't stepped outside in weeks. The sunlight stung my eyes. Try this building, she said, handing me a paper. There's a studio for rent, cheap. I don't want, you need it. We met Mr. Kim at the door. He nodded, barely speaking. His eyes were kind, though. It's small, Ava warned, but it's a start. I stepped inside. The walls were bare. The window overlooked a rusted fire escape. But it was quiet. I'll take it. Mr. Kim handed me the key. No noise. Rent on time. I nodded. Back at the house, I stared at the empty crib. My legs gave out beside it. I can't do this, I whispered. Ava crouched beside me. Yes, you can. One box at a time. We packed in silence. Books, clothes, diapers that would never be used. Then I found it. The ultrasound photo. My fingers trembled. She had a heartbeat. Ava placed her hand on my shoulder. She had fingers, toes. She kicked. Tears blurred my vision. She was real. She still is, she said softly. In you. We moved the boxes to the car. I watched the house shrink in the rearview mirror. I thought that place was home. I whispered, home is where you heal, Ava said. The studio smelled like dust and forgotten memories. I placed the photo on the WINDOWSILL dot that night. I sat on the floor, knees to my chest. I thought of Ethan, of his silence, of the way he left me bleeding and broken without looking back. Why wasn't I enough? I whispered to the dark dot. No one answered. Dot, just the creaking pipes and my own breath. Morning, Ava said the next day, carrying bags. I brought food and curtains. You're not living in a cave? I like caves. Tough. She tossed me a bagel. Eat. I chewed in silence. She looked around. You know, with a little paint, this place might feel less depressing. I raised an eyebrow. You offering to paint? Nope. I brought my cousin for that. He owes me. I actually laughed. Barely, but it was there. We worked on the place for days. Ava talked nonstop. I barely replied. But her noise filled the emptiness. Then one night, she sat beside me on the mattress. You're doing better. I don't feel better. You don't have to feel it to show it. I looked at her. Why are you still here? Because you stayed when I fell apart. Now it's my turn. I woke up at 2 a.m. The city outside was quiet. My fingers reached for the ultrasound photo again. I'm sorry, I whispered. Should have protected you. A breeze slipped. Through the cracked window, I closed my eyes. I'll keep going. For you, later that week, Ava handed me a flyer. Job at the diner. Night shifts. They need someone reliable. I hesitated. I haven't worked in months. Then, it's time. I took it. The uniform was itchy. The lights too bright. But the customers didn't ask questions. Leo, the owner, grunted. Just keep the coffee hot and don't quit mid-shift. Yes, sir. At the end of the night, he handed me cash. Not bad, rookie. Walked home under flickering street lamps. Exhaustion pulling at every step. But I had survived the day. I called Ava. Thanks for what? Not letting me disappear? She paused. You're still here, Lena. That's all that matters. I looked out the window, the photo. Clutched in my hand, I'm starting over. Good, she said. Let this silence stay behind. Lena, order up. Table 5's been waiting 10 minutes. Got it, Leo? I wiped my forehead and grabbed the plates. Move faster, not sadder. He grunted. I nodded and forced a smile at the customers. Sorry for the wait. It's fine, the woman said. You look tired. I walked away without replying. She knew how many nights I'd spent wide awake staring at the ceiling. She'd understand. Clock out and sit, Leo barked after the rush died. I peeled off my apron and slumped into the booth across from him. You eat. No, you breathe. Sometimes. He slid a bowl of soup toward me. Start with this. I didn't argue. You're a hard worker, he muttered. Too hard. You look like you're about to fall over. I'm fine. He raised a brow. You sure? I just need to keep moving. Yeah, well, you ain't a machine. Later that night, the diner lights started spinning. I blinked. Then everything turned black. I woke up in a bright room, the beeping of a monitor in the background. Where am I? You fainted at work, a gentle voice said. I'm Nurse Clara. You're at St. Agnes Clinic. I sat up slowly. Need to get back. I can't lose that job. She smiled softly. You're not going anywhere yet. What happened? We ran some tests. You're dehydrated, exhausted, and you're still pregnant. I stared at her. What? You're carrying twins? No, I whispered. I lost the baby. I remember one didn't survive, but the other two did. It's rare, but it happens. My chest tightened. I have 2 babies, live. Yes, her voice was kind, and they're strong. Tears filled my eyes. I thought I had nothing left. Turns out you have 2 reasons to keep going. I sat on the clinic bench afterward, holding the sonogram in shaking hands, 2 tiny heartbeats. How could I feel joy and guilt at the same time? I pulled out my phone and called Ava. She answered on the first ring. You okay? I need you. I'm coming. Ava rushed in 10 minutes later. What happened? I fainted at work. They ran tests. I handed her the sonogram. Her eyes widened. You're Lena? Are those twins? She covered her mouth. Oh my God, one didn't make it, but these 2. They did. She pulled me into a hug. This changes everything. I know. Are you going? To tell Ethan, I looked away. No. You sure? He left me when I was bleeding, when I was broken. He doesn't deserve to know. You're right, she whispered. He doesn't. Back at the apartment, I stared at the ceiling again. Only this time, I wasn't empty. There were lives growing inside me, 2 tiny heartbeats, 2 silent promises. I placed my hand on my stomach. I'm sorry I didn't know, but I'm here now. And I won't let anything hurt you. The next shift, Leo looked me up and down. You gonna faint again? Not if I eat, he grunted. Good, 'cause we're short on hands. I need to talk to you. He raised an eyebrow. You quitting? No, but I'm pregnant. With twins? He blinked. Huh. I understand if you need to replace me. You any less capable than yesterday? No. Then we're good. Just don't drop a tray on someone's head. I laughed. Thanks, Leo. He grunted again. Don't make a habit of passing. Out. That night, I wrote letters to the babies. Dear little ones, I whispered, pen in hand. I don't have much. I live in a tiny apartment. I wear the same shoes every day. But I promise I'll love you with everything I have. Weeks passed. Ava bought me vitamins. Leo made sure I had breaks. Nurse Clara checked on me once a week. I worked. I rested. I planned. But I never told Ethan. He didn't ask. Anyway. One day, Ava said, You're glowing. Must be the diner grease. No, she smiled. It's them. They're saving you. I thought I was saving them. Maybe it's both. I walked home under a purple sky, hand on my stomach. I didn't choose this life. I whispered, but I choose you. And that choice changed everything. Lena, your sketchbook's open again? I know, I said, not looking up from the tiny onesie I was drawing. You haven't even taken your shoes off, Ava added, standing in the doorway. I'll sit in a sec. You've been standing for 8 hours? Not tired, I muttered, pencil gliding across the page. Ava walked over, snatched the pad gently, and flipped through. These are beautiful. You should sell them. No one's going to buy baby clothes from a waitress with no degree and a second hand. Sewing machine. They will if the designs come from a mom who's doing it for her kids. I smiled faintly. You really think so? She nodded. I'd bet my rent on it, then I'll start tonight. Every night after work, I sat by the window and stitched. Sometimes I talked to the babies. Today was tough, I whispered. A customer yelled at me for bringing him hot coffee instead of iced. Your mama didn't yell back though. Small win. They kicked in response, soft flutters under my skin. Are you agreeing with me or mocking me? Another kick. I laughed at. Work, Leo noticed. You're humming. No, I'm not. You're smiling. I'm not. He pointed with his spatula. That glow ain't diner grease. I blushed. Maybe I'm just happy to be off my feet. You're different now, he said. You're stronger. I don't feel strong. You don't have to feel it to be it. Ava leaned over my shoulder later that week. You really should post that. It's not perfect. Neither is parenting. Post it anyway. I hesitated, then uploaded a photo of a tiny cloud-printed swaddle I'd stitched. The night before, I'll be lucky if 2 people see this. Well, she said, holding up her phone, I'm one. 3 days later, I got an order. Someone actually wants to pay for this. I asked, staring at the screen. Yes. Ava grinned. See? What did I tell you? I stared at the baby booties I'd made. They're going to be on someone's newborn. They're going to be on yours too. My smile faded. I still wake up scared. That's okay. Just don't stop waking up. I kept working, kept JOURNALING every night. I wrote them a letter. Dear babies, today I cried a little. Not because of Ethan, just fear. But then I felt you move again, and I remembered Dime. Not alone. I'll never let you feel abandoned like I did. Love, Mom. One night, Ava caught me crying. You okay? I shook my head. I thought I was done grieving. Grief doesn't leave. It just gets quieter. I thought I needed to be strong all the time. No, you just need to keep going. That's strength. Later, I stood in front of the mirror, lifting my shirt slightly to see the curve of my belly. Look what you've done to me. I laughed softly. You've made me brave. The babies kicked. I'll take that as a thank you. Leo watched me sketch between shifts. You still sewing? Every night. You sellin'. Yet, yeah, a few orders? Good, he said. Keep building. Trying. You don't gotta try. You're already doing it. Ava brought over new fabric one weekend. Where'd you get this? Clearance bin? Thought of you. Soft, I murmured, running my fingers across it. Perfect for a baby wrap. Make it. Post it. Repeat. Bossy. Pregnant or not, I will drag you to your own greatness. I stopped checking Ethan's socials. I stopped wondering where he was, or who he was with. I stopped crying over him, but my chest still ached sometimes. Not because I missed him, but because I almost let him define my story. Instead, I turned. Pages in my sketchbook. Look at all these, I whispered to the babies. One day I'll show you every single one. Every idea I had when it was just us in this tiny room, they kicked again. A double tap. All right, I'll stop talking and start sewing. One night, Ava asked if Ethan came back, what would you do? I thought for a long time. I'd tell him I already found what I was looking for. And what's that? Strength through them. Through me. The next morning, I walked out the door, apron in one hand, sketch pad in the other. The sun was rising, and for once, I felt like I was rising with it. "Let's keep going," I whispered, and I did. "Mommy, can I wear the sparkle shoes?" "Noah, those are your sisters." "I like sparkles." Elle giggled from the hotel bed. "He wants to be a princess." "You both shine already," I said, zipping up their tiny jackets. "But we don't want to be late." The gala buzzed with glitter, champagne, and camera flashes. I adjusted my name tag. Ava nudged me. "You realize you're the only one here not dripping in diamonds?" "I'm dripping in spit up and applesauce. That counts, right?" "Fashion designer and comedian. You're unstoppable. Tell that to my niece." I spotted my display in the corner handmade baby couture, delicate lace onesies, embroidered blankets. "You made all this?" A woman asked every stitch. "No wonder you went viral. These feel like love." I smiled. "They are, Mommy. I want the pink juice. Elle, that's champagne." Noah pointed to a waiter. "Can I get juice too?" "Only if you say please, please." A soft chuckle behind me made my spine stiffen. I'd know that voice anywhere. I turned Ethan. He looked almost the same. Same tailored suit, same sharp jawline. But his eyes flicked between me and the twins. Wide, stunned. "Lena." His voice cracked. "Hello, Ethan." His mouth opened, but nothing came out. "These are your kids." His voice was barely a whisper. "My kids," I corrected. "Yes." His gaze dropped to Noah's curls. 2 twins. "Surprise." He swallowed. "You never told me. You didn't ask." I thought. "You thought wrong." Jasmine appeared, clinging to his arm. "Babe, who's this?" "No one," I answered. "We were just leaving." She frowned. "Wait, aren't you the baby brand chick?" "I'm their mother." She blinked. "These are yours. Mine alone." Ethan stepped closer. "You should have told me, Lena." I took Elle's hand. "You should have stayed." "Let me explain. You did." "When you walked away, I didn't know you didn't care to know?" He glanced around, voice low. "Can we talk?" "Alone." I crouched beside Noah. "Buddy, do you want to talk to this man?" Noah shook his head. "He's scary." Ethan's face dropped. Elle pulled on my dress. He looked sad. I stood. "Let's go find that juice," he called. "After me, I messed up." "You left me bleeding on a bathroom floor," I said without turning. "Keep walking, Ethan." Back at my display, Ava raised an eyebrow. "Was that him?" "Yep. He looked like he saw a ghost. He saw what he lost." She smiled. "Good." Elle tugged my arm. "Mommy, who was that man?" "Someone from before you." "Is he our daddy?" Maybe." "I am." Noah nodded. "You're the bestest one anyway." An older designer stopped by later, peering at my collection. "Did you sew these yourself?" "I did." "With 2 toddlers?" "Yes." He nodded. "That's grit. You'll go far." I looked down at Elle clapping and Noah spinning in circles. "I already have." Ethan stood near the exit when we left. His eyes begged. I walked right past him, because this time, I was the one leaving. And I wasn't looking back, Lena. Wait. I stopped just outside the building, the twins already buckled into their stroller. Ethan jogged up, breathless. "We need to talk." I didn't look at him. "We already did." "No, we didn't." "Are they mine?" "Yes." He flinched. "Both." I turned. Noah and Elle, born 7 weeks early. "You missed it." His jaw tightened. "You didn't tell me. You didn't deserve to know." "That's not fair." "Fair." I laughed bitterly. "You left me bleeding, Ethan." "I didn't know you were pregnant." "You didn't even ask if I was okay." He looked away. "I was scared." "No, you were selfish." I thought he rubbed his face. "I thought you wanted out. I wanted you to stay." He stared at the twins. "I should have been there. But you weren't." "God." "Lena." I crossed my arms. "What exactly do you want from me?" "I don't know. A chance, maybe? To do what? Apologize. Play dad now that it's convenient. They're my kids too. Where were you when I couldn't afford formula? When I cried myself to sleep wondering how I do this alone? Didn't know because you didn't care to know. He stepped back, hands raised. You're right. I was a coward. Silence. I lost the baby to Ethan. His eyes flicked up. What? There were 3. He swallowed hard. You never said you were gone. His voice cracked. I didn't want this to happen. I didn't want to raise twins alone either, but I did. I want to help. I don't need your help. I could pay support. No. At least let me know. Not your pity, not your money. Not your guilt. Then what do you want from me? Nothing. He blinked. Nothing. I built a life without you. I'm not letting you back in just because it's convenient now. I want to know them. No, they're my children. They're my everything. He lowered his voice. This isn't right. No, Ethan. What wasn't right was you walking out. He glanced at Noah, who was humming softly in the stroller. He has my eyes, and Elle has mine. A T, but they have my strength. He looked defeated. Can I just talk to them? I shook my head. Not today. Maybe not ever. Lena, please. I straightened. I'm not angry anymore. Just done. He opened his mouth, then closed it. You've changed. I had to. I barely recognize you. I recognize me now. He looked at the twins again. Amazing. You know that? I do. He stepped aside slowly. Will you ever forgive me? I met his eyes. That's not your right to ask. I'm sorry. I believe you. Then why does it still feel like I lost? Because you did. I turned and pushed the stroller forward. Mommy, who was that man again? Elle asked. Just someone from before, I said. Noah yawned. He was loud. I smiled. You won't have to hear him again. Ava was waiting by the car. Well, he knows, and I didn't break. She grinned. That's my girl. I kissed. My kids on their foreheads. Let's go home. I didn't look back. Not this time. Ava, don't say anything, I muttered. Putting my phone down, she looked up from her coffee. He emailed you again, 3 times, this week. What does he want now? Same thing, a chance. To explain time with the twins, he deserves to know them. Ava scoffed. He gave up that right the second he walked away. He says he's changed. Too little, too late. I sighed. He's trying to get to me through you now, isn't he? She didn't answer. I narrowed my eyes, Ava. He called me yesterday. Seriously? I didn't answer the first 2 times. 3rd time, I picked up just to shut him down. What did he say? That he misses you? That he regrets everything? That he watches your brand online and can't believe how far you've come? I clenched my jaw. He had the chance to be part of that journey. Exactly what I told him. I nodded slowly. Good. But Lena, Ava said, lowering her voice, he sounded broken. I'm not here to fix him. I know. He made his choices. I reminded him of that. I stood up and walked to the window. Noah said, I love you last night. Just randomly. Out of nowhere, Ava smiled. He's a soft one. Doesn't even know who Ethan is. And I want to keep it that way. You're protecting them. That's what a good mother does. I don't want them confused or hurt. They won't be. Not with you raising them. I glanced back. What did Ethan say when you shut him down? He begged. Pathetic. He said Jasmine left. I raised an eyebrow. Seriously. She apparently didn't sign up for public humiliation once the news spread. I let out a bitter laugh. So she cared more about image than love. Sounds familiar. Word's gotten around his company too. I'm not surprised. They say his staff lost respect for him. Investors pulled out. Did I ruin him, Ava? No, she said firmly. He did that to himself. I didn't say a word. Exactly? I sat down. I thought watching him fall would feel better, doesn't it? A little, but mostly, I just feel done. That's power, Lena. You don't need revenge. You already won. Phone buzzed again. I picked it up. Another email. From Ethan, subject. Please, Lena, I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but please just let me see them. Just once, I'll do anything. I sighed. You going to reply? No. Ava nodded. You're doing the right thing. I opened my laptop instead and pulled up my latest orders. We got picked up by another boutique. Which one? Little Fern. New York. They want a full line, Lena, she squealed. That's huge. I smiled softly. Yeah, it is. You built this from nothing. From pain, I said quietly. But it's not about Ethan anymore. It's about them. And you. Maybe. No, definitely. I glanced at a photo on my desk, Noah and Elle, covered in finger paint. I have everything I need, I said. And he's just a memory, eh? Fading one. Ava raised her coffee. To the future. I've raised mine too. And the past staying where it belongs. You're really doing this? Ava asked as I buckled Noah's shoes. I'm not doing it for him, I said quietly. I'm doing it for them. Elle ran circles around the living room. Where are we going, Mommy? To meet someone? A grown-up. Is it Auntie Ava? She grinned. No, baby. Someone else. You'll see. Ava crossed her arms. I still don't like it. I don't either. I don't want them to grow up with questions. And if he messes this up, then it's over. No second chances. We arrived at the small park near my place. Ethan was already sitting on the bench, hands trembling. He stood as soon as he saw us. Lena, don't say anything yet. I cut in. Just sit. Let them play. His eyes filled with tears the moment Noah and Elle ran toward the swings. They're beautiful. They're mine. They're ours. No, Ethan, they're mine. I carried them, raised them. You walked away. I didn't know you didn't ask. He swallowed hard. May I talk to them? Go ahead. He knelt beside Elle. Hi there, I'm Ethan. She tilted her head. Are you Mommy's friend? Ethan smiled shakily. Something like that. Noah looked up. Can you push us on the swings? He did. Slowly, carefully, silent tears ran down his face as they giggled. I stood back, arms folded. My heart was pounding, but not from pain. It's from protection. After a while, Ethan walked back to me. They're amazing. You did all this without me? Yes. They called you Mommy and didn't even blink when I said my name. Don't know you? That was your choice. I was scared. He flinched. I know. I needed you. And you disappeared. I didn't even know if they'd survive. I regret it every single day. I looked at my children. I forgive you. His eyes widened. You do. But I don't forget. I never will. I don't expect you to. You don't get to rewrite what happened. I just want to be part of their lives, not as their father. That ship has sailed. But you can visit, on my terms. When I say, I'll take anything, he whispered. He reached out like he wanted to hug me. I stepped back. No, Lena, you lost that right. You don't get to stand beside me like nothing happened. He looked shattered. Godot. I wasn't trying to hurt him. I was just done letting him hurt me. I built a life, Ethan. You're a visitor in it now. He nodded slowly. Understood. Elle ran up, handing him a flower. Here, for being nice. He blinked. Thank you, sweetheart. She ran back, laughing. He looked at me again. Thank you for letting me see them. I did it for them. Still, thank you. Don't make me regret it. I won't. As I packed up the twins, he stood to the side, uncertain. I looked over my shoulder. Goodbye, Ethan. He whispered. Goodbye. As we walked away, Noah asked, Mommy, who was that man? I paused, then smiled. Someone from my past. He nodded like that answer was enough, and it was. Are you nervous? Ava asked, straightening the sign above the entrance. Terrified, I laughed, smoothing my dress, but also ready? 2 stars. She stepped back, admiring. It's perfect. It had to be. It's for them. My heart raced as a ribbon was cut. Cameras flashed. Applause echoed. Reporters swarmed. Miss Lennox, how does it feel to open your first boutique as a single mom? Empowering. What inspired the name? I looked over at Noah and Elle chasing balloons. My twins. They're my whole universe. Click another photo. Another. Spotlight. But I wasn't flinching anymore. I was glowing. Ava leaned in. Ethan's here. My chest tightened. Where? Across the street, just standing. Watching. I didn't look. Let him watch. One reporter smiled. How did you overcome so much? I took a breath. Pain taught me how to build. Abandonment taught me how to stand tall. I didn't have a choice, so I made one. You're being called the face of resilience. I don't want to be a symbol, I said, smiling. Just want to be a mom who made it. The boutique filled quickly. Customers browsed, admired, bought. Ava pulled me aside. You did this? No, I said, watching Elle hug Noah. We did. Still, he looked like he wanted to come inside. He's not part of this world anymore. You sure? I nodded. He had his chance. This is mine, Mommy. Noah called. Look, a tease. I bent down as they ran into my arms. Did you like the party? Elle grinned. Best ever. Noah held up a cookie. Can I take one home? Take 3, I laughed. It's your celebration too. Mommy, Elle whispered. Why are you crying? I wiped my cheeks. Happy tears, baby. Ava handed me a tissue. It's okay to feel it all. I never thought I'd get here. You did more than get here. You owned it. We stepped outside for air. Ethan was still there, leaning on a post, looking older, quieter. I didn't wave. He didn't approach good gut. He knew. He saw what he walked away from. A customer tapped my shoulder. Your story inspired me. Thank you, I said gently. It wasn't easy. Nothing worth it ever is. I looked up at the sign to stars. They were always my reason. Ethan slowly turned and walked away. And for the first time, I felt nothing. Not anger, not sadness, just peace. Ava squeezed my shoulder. You're free now. I always was. I just didn't know it. Want to celebrate? No. I want to go home, put on pajamas, snuggle with my babies. That's the real victory. She smiled. As the crowd thinned, I locked up the boutique, my boutique. Our boutique. Mommy, can I sleep in your bed tonight? Al asked. Both of you can, I said, kissing her forehead. We're the stars, right? Noah yawned. The brightest ones I've ever known. They fell asleep. On the way home, and I watched them, heart full. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need him to suffer. I already won.